Libya is waging two battles, the civil war, which has split the country, and the fight to stop the coronavirus from spreading. But some communities are complaining about the lack of help from the internationally recognized government to limit the spread. They're having to rely on donations, volunteers, or any other help they can get. Here's our Libya correspondent, Mahmoud Abdelwahed.
This is what lockdown looks like in Tripoli. The government has put a curfew in place. Restaurants and cafes are closed down, education suspended, social gatherings banned, and movement between cities restricted. But the number of COVID-19 is creeping upwards. Authorities say they're doing what they can to prevent further infections. But some municipalities are critical of the government's measures to prevent a bigger outbreak.
We've not received any support from the government as of today. A budget has been dispersed by the central bank, but some municipalities received double their portions, while others received nothing at all.
Communities are trying to fill the gaps where they say the government has failed. This hospital in the city of Misrata has been donated by a local businessman to treat coronavirus patients. And students in the city are using 3D printers to produce safety gear for medical workers. In Tripoli, these young volunteers are relying on donations to conduct sanitization campaign. They're cleaning a home for elderly as well as markets, banks and hospitals.
We do it out of our humanitarian values. We have also launched campaigns to raise people's awareness, especially in slums and areas where there are foreign wages.
The isolation of this house for elderly people, which has natural ventilation, makes it less exposed to infection. And the vulnerability of the people living here makes them a priority in the sanitation campaign run by the volunteers. But schools that have been turned into makeshift camps for those displaced by the war create a bigger risk of infection. The government is attributing the lack of financial support to the oil blockade by forces loyal to the warlord Khalifa Haftar. So in communities across the west of Libya, volunteers are doing what they can to protect themselves and others from the virus. Mahmoud Abdelwahed, Al Jazeera, Tripoli.